Because
I want to talk about the Nuggets more than anything.
Last thing I want to talk is the Nuggets. We finna talk about them for a couple more weeks. We need to talk about the bomb-ass Suns.
I want to give the Nuggets their flowers because they
True.
came in with a game plan and they executed that game
True.
plan where it was like, okay, yeah, Kevin and Devin could potentially give us 85, but like we don't trust none of these other motherfuckers.
Campaign can make all the shots he wants.
Exactly.
We not respecting it.
Campaign with his 30-point bucket, cut the lead down to 26, baby.
You know why else we gotta get on respect and get on their flowers is because I feel like they were a number 1 seed who didn't get taken serious.
For sure.
I think everybody was saying, even
but
us.
You know what?
Did any of us pick them against the Suns?
No.
Which was in retrospect stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm a go a little bit further, but like that's what I'm thinking. This Nuggets team has been looking so good. If somehow my Lakers get it, I feel like you're the favorite at that point.
I just told my dad
the Nuggets are the favorite.
The Nuggets are the biggest.
Beat the Nuggets. They hand them the ring.
The Nuggets look like the best team in basketball right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody out east looks like a better matchup. So I feel like, again, yeah, if the Lakers win, or even if the Nuggets, whoever comes out of this West might win the NBA championship because the other teams are like, I wouldn't say sputtering, but none of them is like, oh, that's
they're
the
showing
team.
like they're showing like chinks in the armor or
The
whatever
only
you
thing I
call
would
it.
say is the wings for Boston could give Nuggets some shit.
You think so?
Yes.
I think KCP and Aaron Gordon would be good matchups. For them.
I think so too.
Well, Aaron Gordon, yeah. Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon got the size and the strength to
Aaron Gordon.
not deal with Tatum, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think KCP,
Then off the bench,
he gonna make it tough.
Off the bench, they still got Christian Braun and
I
Bruce
like that
Brown.
Boston
Bruce
could
Brown.
throw bodies at Jokic. You got Robert Williams and you got Al Horford.
They still got to win their motherfucking Game 7 before
They
we
do.
even get
No, they
there.
do.
We'll talk about that potential game or Game 7 in a little bit. But no, the Nuggets came in with a game plan. I think the reason I had picked the Suns originally because I thought about the idea of the high pick and roll with Chris Paul, with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I was like, sheesh, Jokic is going to be tired as hell. He's going to struggle with guarding that. Mike Malone had a great game plan where Jokic wasn't involved in a lot of the pick and roll actions. And when he was involved, he was never outmatched, which is something that wasn't the case in some of the previous series where they ended up going against the Warriors or when they were in the original champion or conference finals in 2020 against the Lakers, where it felt like there's times where Jokic defensively just wasn't able to hold his own. And in this series against some of the best scorers in all of basketball, Jokic stood tall and was the best player because Devin Booker eventually started to miss shots, which is dope. I mean, you made a proclamation on the podcast after the Kings series about Steph Curry being the best in the world. I'm doing that shit right now for Jokic. I don't know how we could have watched this man for the last year or so, especially now in the playoffs, that we've seen that the defense ain't that big of a downside and say, hey, if he ain't number one, he ain't no lower than 3.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this for a couple seasons now.
Like we really haven't seen before. Like he's literally a damn near a 7-footer that brings up the ball, and I see him running pick and roll with Aaron Gordon.
And pick and roll with the
pick and roll with Jamal Murray.
And Jamal Murray had a lot of decent games this series, but he ups and downs. But I think it's just a cool story for them to miss both of those dudes, Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, in the first season they back in media conference finals run and 4 games away from being in the NBA finals. Like, that's dope. Usually when somebody's coming off a major injury, you be like, get him 1 extra year. Get him 1 extra year. There's no 1 extra year. And as long as they have been healthy together, this Nuggets team has been able to do the shit. They've been to the conference finals. You know what I'm saying? And like last year or 2 years ago, it's fucking Campazzo at the starting point guard for Jokic. And now it's back to Jamal Murray. So they've been good. They've been relying on the rookie Christian Braun, who's been giving them good minutes defensively. Bruce Brown gave them 20+ points in 1 game. Like they got it.
Yeah.
They got it.
They had 6 double-figure point per game guys in a series against the Suns compared to their 3, which was Booker, Durant, and Ayton.
Ayton don't count.
And then the Nugget, he barely had it. It was like 10, 10.9, or 10.8. And I think KCP was 10.7 because I did a video on it yesterday. He outscored KCP in that series by 0.1 points per game. And on the flip hand, the Nuggets had Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, and KCP, which I thought was a lot of depth for your ass. But yeah, the Nuggets are doing their thing. I think Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon and KCP, I think this is the most ideal surroundings for Jokic that you can have. I mean, maybe one more bigger wing defender. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But KCP is doing his thing. So, and I think Bruce Brown is that little Swiss Army.
He do a little bit of everything.
And I love Christian Braun. Like he's just like
4-year player.
Good basketball player, man. Yeah. Really, really good basketball player.
Championship DNA.
But they handle their business. And what I love, they close it out on the home floor. But the reason I'm so thirsty to talk about the Suns because this is 2 years in a row where you're back against the wall and you on your home floor and you get your ass spanked. All I pray for the Knicks is to fight. Don't get that ass spanked. Don't lay down and let somebody do it to you. Fight. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
I was definitely expecting Kevin Durant to come out way more.
Don't let nobody roll over you.
Yeah.
I want to tell people at today's podcast, we're recapping the games we've seen. Because game 1 of the Western Conference Final is Tuesday, we're going to do like a full preview on Tuesday because it'll be out before it. So we will talk Lakers versus Nuggets, but right now let's wrap up the series that happened. So yeah, Suns. Yeah. I don't. What do you even start?
I just think I just love to see the fact that Jokic came out and immediately like set the tone.
We talk about the Suns.
Oh,
he said,
he can go for whatever.
We got to get on these Suns' ass. I'm sorry. I'm just thirsty. I'm on some Darrick shit today.
But no, I do feel like the Suns. There's a lot that needs to be done with this roster. I feel like there's not enough, and I feel like Ayton also is a guy that for me has to probably be out the window.
Focus on him and talk about him. Which don't you like from me?
I don't like the lack of aggression. And
who does he remind you of?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were going to say myself.
Oh, no.
Is that what you were alluding to?
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to.
As our big man ambassador, I need you to give him 4 minutes of hell.
4 minutes of hell?
Hey, 4 minutes a long time, Darrick. Lock in.
On your G Herbo shit. Really dive into him, and I'm going to be your hype, man. I ain't going to cut you off. I'm just hyping you.
I already started it.
All right, man. So when you're talking about a guy.
Oh, hell no. Oh, man.
First overall pick.
He kind of is very soft, timid, lack of engagement. And then it's just like the defensive impact isn't there. If he's not scoring, it's like, what else is he really doing for me?
What else?
He has like the most unimpactful 14 to 15 points you've ever seen.
Ever.
And it's like he's not going to get to the free throw line. So the other team's big is always just going to be eating regardless.
Got to be aggressive to get to the free throw line.
Exactly. So especially when you're going against Jokic, you just pretty much letting him off the hook. They really weren't even guarding him. They didn't respect him. When you're a top pick, a number 1 overall pick, and you're not getting respected by the other team, you gotta take some pride in that. That's kind of crazy.
That's a small list. It's like Ben Simmons. And now DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah. Anthony Bennett.
I don't think he's ever. Has Anthony Bennett ever played in the playoffs? I don't think so.
I wish
no.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So it's kind of tough, man. And I feel like when you want championship DNA from a team, you can't have a DeAndre Ayton anchoring your defense or like being your center.
I feel like you've ran out of things to say.
You said what?
Have you ran out of things to say yet?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't because I'm
you're only a minute and 15 seconds.
I'm going to help him pick certain things apart. Why is it detrimental as a big man on a championship caliber team to not have that push or that edge?
Because you are like the engine of that defense. You like bring that fire, that like Draymond Green type energy, that Joakim Noah type energy. You're like that guy that's like really like brings that oomph. And if like the other team don't fear you, guess what they gonna do? Go straight to the basket.
And when you're watching him, and he wants that post touch, and he finally gets it. What is the most frustrating thing that you see he does when he finally get that post touch?
That little fadeaway jump shot. And it's kind of like, if I'm Devin Booker and I'm Kevin Durant, why would I want to give you the ball anyway? Like, you're not that dominant to where I feel like I should intricate my offense around getting you the ball. Like, I'm only doing that for, like, Joel's, Jokic's, maybe sometimes Cat when he really in his bag. But it's a very small sample size of centers that are, like, literally getting the ball, and that you're like, yeah, that's the right play. Ayton really ain't that guy.
Do you think DeAndre Ayton is going to have a better career than Nikola Vucevic?
Even Vucevic.
That's so random.
Even Vucevic is the guy that I would give the ball to and post up.
It's random, but I didn't want to ask a question of Joel Embiid.
Sure.
He's not going to do that. So it's like the next tier outside of those is just like
couple
a solid
time All-Star
center.
type dudes. Yeah.
At this point, it's looking a little murky.
At this point, it's looking like Vooch may have the better career.
I mean, DeAndre Ayton is still only 25 years old. We're not trying to disrespect him, but we are going to get on his ass. Because
you got to judge the sample size you've seen. We've seen a lot so far, and it really ain't really been
If
much.
you were the GM, if you were James Jones, how embarrassed would you be that your best effort came from your backup center who was undrafted, and you had to sit this max player contract guy that you just gave his money to, and for y'all to win in a game 3 down the stretch?
It is pretty embarrassing, especially when you look at the fact that he was bidded out. The Pacers bidded to get him, and we was like, Nah, we'll keep him actually. Even though they really let the market test his value, they didn't even put an offer sheet out there for him. They let other teams do it, so they already had some hesitancy on bringing him back. And then you go and do it, and now you're like, damn, I should just let him walk.
If me, KB,
Not letting them walk though.
if me, yeah, you don't want to lose it for nothing.
Yeah.
If me, KB, and Mike
Yeah.
were doing something, and you had to sit out, you were hurt, you couldn't be in the men's league, 4-on-4, but now it's 3-on-3, and we was getting our ass bust by 25, you wouldn't be on the bench laughing, would you?
No.
Oh.
I feel like, what?
You're just a goofy guy in general. I think that you just be laughing shit.
Oh, no.
That's also 4 minutes.
If it's serious, though, I wouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff started to resurface after they got eliminated. One of them being like a scouting report from Jonathan Sharks about Deandre Ayton originally coming out of the draft class, and about his lack of deterrence at the rim, even in college, where in college, again, I'm just quoting the article, they ran with a traditional big because Deandre Ayton always saw himself as a power forward. And even after he was drafted, he told the world that he wanted to be a power forward. But now you're 7'1" and you don't have the game. Like, you have like the finesse that you want as a 4, but you don't have the jump shooting now in 2023 to be a 4. And he averages no blocks. He didn't average blocks in college. He never averaged blocks in the NBA. So he's not an anchor. But even with all that said, even with the contract, I'm sure there's a lot of teams that will be interested in him.
I
The
saw a
real
list
question,
of them.
let me listen.
Charlotte.
Makes sense.
Some of these teams
Well,
are gonna blow y'all mind.
Mark Williams,
Charlotte,
kind of like
was
Mark
one.
Williams.
For the Pacers.
The Pacers, the Timberwolves was one. The Spurs,
They just keep
just
running
stacking
big.
centers.
Yeah,
the Portland Trailblazers
Shit
was
sound like
one.
my team.
you're right.
And then there were 2 more. But yeah, that was because there was like you said, a bunch of stuff came out. They were saying that the teammates are starting to be frustrated with him the same way Monty Williams was with his lack of aggression and things like that.
Yeah.
These are all ESPN reported things. This ain't nothing that we got off Twitter or anything. Yeah. And then they put out like him and Chris Paul, their futures, and it was like despite Aiden's struggles or lack of aggression, there are a bunch of suitors because he is 25. He got 3 years left on that contract. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was the Spurs, Pacers, Trailblazers, Hornets, Timberwolves, and there were 2 more damn teams.
Some of those teams
I like
makes a lot of sense.
The Spurs makes a lot of sense. So does the
Depending
Charlotte Hornets.
on the lottery.
The lottery, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Because if we Charlotte and we get the first pick, fuck DeAndre.
That I know you just say you quoting the article, but that power forward shit makes me mad.
Yeah,
It does.
I don't even view him as a power.
You know how
nobody
many
ever
times
has
I look
except
out
for
at
himself.
I look on the court.
The Hawks were a team as well.
That'd be crazy. That's crazy.
And Trae Young got
And this is the
rolled.
one that blew my mind.
Ooh,
The Magic. They got Wendell, Paulo, and Franz. Don't touch shit over there.
Yeah.
Don't touch nothing.
bro, the Atlanta Hawks make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Because
does.
before the deadline, before they traded for Kevin Durant, they had traded for John Collins. It was done. And then Matt Ishbia was like, no, we want to shoot bigger. I'm going to call up Josiah and talk to him about Kevin.
Another
So they
reason
were
why
interested
Atlanta
in John
makes sense
Collins.
is because they would have shit that I would view Phoenix to want.
Yeah.
Phoenix would want.
It's just trying to gauge what is DeAndre Ayton's real value.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
question. And I don't think we're going to have the answer to that until he is eventually traded.
And that's
Would you give up 2 first-round picks for him?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Yeah.
Fuck
that's
no.
the tough part too,
No.
because
I'm trying to figure out if I'm giving up Jalen Johnson.
Right.
I feel
John
like
Collins,
yeah.
cool.
he
All right.
in that
But
situation
what
where
else?
it's just
Who's
like
the other center? Clint Capella?
You got
Clint Capella.
Clint Capella, and then because you
On
keep it in
Yeka.
Yeka. But Yeka feels like a dude that you're waiting to take a starting spot. We're gonna trade for another center. Now he's just a backup perennially for his whole fucking career. But I do think it makes some sense. But you know what? No, it don't. Because Trae Young likes to throw lobs. DeAndre Ayton don't like to jump. He don't like to block.
Likes to
He
fade
don't like
away.
to dunk.
Yeah,
I feel
you're
like,
right.
yeah, and also defensively, that's going to be tough. Aiden's already not a defensive force on it. I guess Aiton in the defense, and then Trae Young is a bad perimeter defender.
The Mavericks were a team too. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mavericks make the most sense out of
Yeah.
all of those teams,
For real.
honestly, as they fishing for anything to keep Luka Doncic happy.
But then
Yeah.
again, I feel like that shit is
then-
not gonna work out for him, bro.
If they trade for Aiden, does that mean that Kyrie's not going?
Greatest trade.
Probably.
The Mavericks get DeAndre Ayton, Landry Shamet, and a 15th overall pick via the Atlanta Hawks. Y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
Here.
What they getting?
They getting Aiden, a 15th overall pick, and
You're not
I
with him.
forgot.
You're
Landry
not with me.
Shamet.
Landry
Landry
Shamet.
Shamet, yeah.
The Suns get Clint Capella, Tim Hardaway Jr., 2027 first-round pick from Dallas, top 4 protected. What they getting, Mike?
I did not hear the first one. I was laughing.
Clint
at the
Capella.
Mills.
Clint Capella?
Mhm.
Now what else?
THJ.
THJ and I don't know what you said.
2027 Dallas first round pick. That goes to the Suns.
Okay.
Anybody that's not protecting their picks top 4 is just stupid, by the way.
And then the Hawks get Reggie Bullock,
Ooh.
Maxi Kleber,
Ooh.
and the 10th overall pick from Dallas. So Atlanta now has an open center spot for Aneka.
Mm-hmm.
They have the 10th overall pick. They have Trey, DeJounte. They still have John Collins.
Why? Why is John Collins still
Because
draw up that
they
trade?
can still trade him. And then you got AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter,
I
and
still
Bogdanovich.
really do like Clint Capella's game.
Clint Capella is now with Chris Paul,
Chris
Devin
Paul
Booker,
is next.
Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Phoenix has now Clint Capella. They have a jump shooter and Tim Hardaway Jr., and they have a future first-round pick that they maybe can trade because, the stipend rule with the Nets trade, they can't trade shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they
I
really
think
don't have
Atlanta
assets.
says no to this. I think they still value Clint Capella.
10th overall pick is good value for Clint Capella.
10th overall pick is nice.
Especially if you're telling yourself, this is the year for Onyeka.
Yeah,
If you can convince yourself of that 10th overall pick for Clint Capella is great, honestly, great value.
You jump into a range where you can get something. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
they traded for a 10th overall pick a few years ago. What that turned out to be?
I can't remember.
Cam Reddish.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Part of the Trae Young trade.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Reddish, and who else did they get that year?
Trae Young.
DeAndre Hunter.
Oh, yeah. Because
Bro,
that
I
was
hope
the Lakers trade.
wherever Ayton goes, I hope that shit works out for the best of him.
It will.
Because it's going to be one of them situations where I think he might also look back. Yeah, it might be a little rough situation. Like, maybe not be on the best, best of foot with like Monty Williams or something like that. But he was in a blessed situation.
I think it will.
He was in a blessed situation, bro. You literally have and at this point, you have two go-to guys, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. You had game management. Injuries happen, so that's that type of thing. But he ain't had to do shit but play hard.
Yeah.
He ain't had to do shit but play hard.
But I also feel like it's hard, maybe for him, I'm just speaking from like his perspective, that like maybe since him and Monty don't really mesh or like get along, maybe it's just like he don't really want to play for him. Like he don't.
I mean,
sometimes a change of a coach can change a player.
Yeah.
But I agree.
I think there's like.
But we have to stop giving these coaches 2-year leashes. He was the coach of the year last year, man.
No, Monty shouldn't go. I think in this case,
no, I'm not saying for you saying that, but Suns fans are calling for Monty just because they lost the series.
But I mean, it is 2 back-to-back years where
they
lost
got
30 and then 25. So I could see it.
I think Damian Lillard just tweeted, "We firing championship level coaches after not winning a championship."
Yeah.
Now that is different. But I mean, if
Monty helped change the culture and everything, they go on the run and all of that. But do y'all remember what DeAndre Ayton said on draft night after he was drafted?
What did he say?
He said that definitely getting my second contract, that's my success. It's not about winning championships, winning MVPs, making all NBAs.
I was going to say,
I just want to get that second contract. And guess what he did?
He got it.
He got it, and it's a fucking bag. And now he on GTA RP at all times of the night. They saying he getting his own Call of Duty skin next. And he gonna be in flip-flops
big
and
as hell.
Cancun. Yeah.
Big as hell. And the emo going to be a floater.
Yo, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. Call of Duty's giving a lot of people skins.
Yeah, the Kevin Durant actually looks kind of nice.
The Kevin Durant one looks cool.
Mike, I think you actually right.
He's also small, though, in the game. It's weird to see Kevin Durant.
But he
with that
gonna
frame.
like any team, unless we already talked about, unless you one of the top centers, a Joel Embiid, Jokic, or AD until proven so. Sabonis, we not even mentioning Sabonis like that. Ain't nowhere near that. It's just like if you don't run the floor hard, rebound, and protect the paint, you need to be doing something else.
Shout out to
And
our,
not
our
really doing
friends
that.
over there. Pick a side. I'm gonna take their segment away for 1 second.
Would you rather?
Who would you rather have? DeAndre Ayton edition.
Yeah, shout out. Me
And Jock Lando being
exactly
there.
how they
Me and
be saying it.
Joel is in the new Imani Bates draft hype video.
Oh, really? Doing
Like,
what?
He's working now, getting motivated, and there's people saying shit about him in the background.
Oh, wow.
And it's me and it's Joel. If
Are y'all
Joel
praising
saying
him?
something? I'm saying that he's gonna be remembered as a guy who was a top pick back at the gun type situation.
Oh shit.
But in the clip it say I like him. It say
okay.
I like him, but he's going. He has to deal with the fact that he may be remembered as the guy who got in trouble or whatever.
All right, we're not even gonna start with the top guys. We know y'all taking Embiid and okay. Brook Lopez.
I'm taking Brook Lopez.
Brook Lopez.
Brook Lopez.
Is this for just like a season or some shit? Like I'm trying to win a championship. What am I trying to do?
You building the team and they say pick your center first, and these are our two options. Who are you taking?
I would take DeAndre Ayton. I would
the
just take
team is just
DeAndre
for this
Ayton
year
then.
though.
Okay, if the team's just for this year, I'm taking Brook Lopez.
Because obviously you're gonna take the 25.
Yeah,
instead of the
I'm
35.
taking Brook
I'm thinking of
Lopez.
it for right now. Like if I need to win right now.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
I don't know how far I want to go on this one. Nikola Vucevic.
And I value a big that can stretch and block shots for Brook Lopez reference.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Vooch.
You know what?
Vooch played 82 games this season.
I'm taking Aiden.
I'm taking Vooch.
Miles Turner.
I'm taking.
Wow,
I'm
Miles
taking
Turner.
Miles Turner.
Okay. Steven Adams.
I'm taking Steven Adams. I seen how important that
I'm
man
taking
was.
Steven Adams.
Yeah, I'll take Steven Adams.
Yeah, he ain't afraid to do that dirty stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kevon Looney.
Oh, Looney. Give me Big Loon.
Next question.
Wow.
I'm taking Looney Tunes.
We might be going very far.
That's why I'm trying to figure out
We
what
may
the
be
line
going
is.
very
I'm trying to figure out
far,
what the line is.
man. I might have to go DeAndre Ayton over Kevon Looney.
Nah, the way Kevon Looney
No,
been
this is the
playing
line. This is the line right here. Nurkic.
I'm taking.
No, I'm
DeAndre
taking
Ayton.
I'll take
DeAndre
Aiden.
Aiden. I'm taking DeAndre Aiden.
What about Gobert?
Go Bear.
I'm taking Gobert. Yeah, the reason I'm taking Gobert because I know what I'm gonna get defensively, and I know what I'm getting offensively. The thing with DeAndre Ayton,
You don't know
is
either
like,
of those things.
It's like Nick, like you can give me 20 and 10.
This is the thing I'm holding on to. Is like, it's a little small, but it's just like when he was playing well, they got to the fucking finals. Like,
Yeah.
he was a big part
but
of that.
you know what's crazy?
What?
And I only know all this stuff off the top of my head because I did a video yesterday. That was his first playoff run.
Yes, it was.
Every year you're supposed to get,
Get better and better and better. That's the idea.
his first run. He was a top. I was in my videos because that was like
I feel like we would.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but feel like I was saying like, damn, he could be trying to jump into that
Top
top
five, yeah.
top
Yes,
six,
I
top
literally
shit.
yeah.
said that.
He looked
You
like
know
he
who else
was.
said that?
What?
Bill Simmons said he was top 3 in the middle of that run.
See, I was
He is
saying he
crazy.
could jump into the top 5.
Yeah.
I was saying next year when
Yeah.
we get to the regular, he should be an all-star.
Bill Simmons said number 3.
But it wasn't that crazy at the time
Because he was hooping.
He was hooping.
That Pelicans, they do not win that Pelicans series if DeAndre Ayton don't play the way he did.
Last year, remember the little funk against the Mavericks? He kind of uplifted them out of it because he was like unguardable. The Mavericks had nobody that could put on him.
And that's what be frustrating when he take them floaters because I don't know if he realized how big he actually is. Bro. I really don't know.
The most points he scored in this series was 14. He couldn't get past 14.
That's insane, bro.
He had 2 games where he scored less than 10 points, and I think they won both.
And guess what?
He was missing layups too. It wasn't even all just jumper. He was missing
He shot
layups.
55%. The first 2 years of his playoff run, it was 66 and 65.
The Nuggets don't play a backup center.
He shot.
Yeah, they don't.
What did he shoot? 40 fucking % from the free throw line.
And it's not like Jokic is like this amazing defender either.
Yeah,
So-
I've seen people give him buckets. Go through his chest a little bit.
Hey, and
Kind of a rock.
I'm one of the I'm like average height, but like on the basketball court, I'm one of the short guys. When I see a big nigga and he doing weak shit, like weak stuff, and he going up soft, that makes me mad. Cause that seems like, damn, I wish I would be what I would be doing with that height. I'd be going crazy.
That's what you think.
Yeah, they
You
two.
wish you had my height, KB.
I'm not a hooper. I don't care about height. That's such a basketball oriented
So
thing.
you would get the male BBLs?
No, those people can never run again.
Yeah, they can't do
Bro,
They
anything.
can't do anything.
That's what I was saying. I was like, you're getting that extra height for like you're giving up everything. Like
Everything.
everything
Yeah.
athletic.
It's just to tell a woman you're taller.
Exactly. That's all it is, bro.
Going from 5'5" to 6 feet is crazy.
Yeah.
Like
no.
I couldn't even imagine.
And
why
all,
you
and,
would.
for-
and,
it
and,
did-
and she
for
gonna
what?
be blue because you gonna finally get it back
Only
to the
your
crib.
legs got bigger.
Yeah, she
Oh.
gonna be like, she gonna be like, what the rest of you?
Only your legs. You finna have that Desmond Bain arm span.
Oh, God.
you
You
six-
saw Desmond Bain quoted that tweet.
Yeah.
He said, "Can they do this for arms?"
Yeah,
Oh, he did.
yeah.
You 6 foot with a size 7 shoe. Boy, get the fuck out. But yeah,
But I know everybody had their own insecurity, so I'm not making fun of those people. Shout out to them. As long as you happy.
they won both games. He played less than 27 minutes and shot less than 10 times. They said, Jock, get in there.
Does Jock get a bag? Jock is a free agent. I think he played his way into a multi-year contract. Maybe not with the Suns, but somewhere.
I think
Multi-year
the center
contract.
for the Suns is
All he had to do
Nicholas
was play
Claxton.
hard.
Claxton is also a free agent.
Is
I
he
think-
restricted?
Yeah, he's not a free agent.
He might be a free agent next season.
I thought it was this season. Oh shit, my bad.
It might be next season.
But I
But
think
even if he was,
Claxton-
they don't got no money. They got 2 super max deals on the books. And Chris Paul's partially guaranteed contract, and that's
I
the
was gonna say,
next
they
guy.
got 4 motherfuckers. They paying big
it's
money.
next year.
So Chris Paul's only guaranteed for $15 million, so it's not that bad, you know. But
You have to trade him before a certain time before he gets.
because it's been 6 years in a row where his body's broken down on him in the playoffs, which is crazy. That's a crazy number. And I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's like 4, but still.
Yeah, because he got better with the vegan shit.
Yep.
For first championship run, he was there, right?
He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
COVID or
partially. They had COVID in the last. No, that I'm thinking about the Mavericks or whatever. But either way, his body's giving out on him. He's 36 years old. He's a point guard that can't get to his spots. And this is the first year in a couple years where his mid-range jump shot was below average. It wasn't one of the best in ball. His clutch numbers were average when the last couple years he was one of the clutchest players.
Outplayed his ass.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to figure out, okay, what's next for Chris Paul? What's the team? What team can convince themselves that Chris Paul is the answer?
Nobody.
Apparently, the Lakers are the favorite to land.
No,
Which is just a Vegas way of saying the Lakers always try to get
Yes.
somebody.
Yeah. And I think the Lakers, you biting yourself.
Keep
Don't do
D'Angelo
that.
Russell.
Because
Yeah, D'Angelo
that's
Russell's fine.
the same thing as name chasing.
Mhm.
Y'all just chasing a name.
Yeah.
Trade for Chris Paul, stretch, and release him is the go-to for whoever acquires him.
I didn't want him to see him go out.
I don't
like
think
this.
anybody is convincing themselves to trade for him.
You know who it is?
Yeah. Who?
Do you know who it is?
Chicago Bulls.
It's a team that lost their starting point guard for 2 seasons and plus another one on the way. It's the Chicago Bulls.
I
I'm
wouldn't-
not saying I would
wouldn't
like
mind
it,
it.
but I'm just for a team. First of all, they said that they didn't say this. It's rumored
Build around Zach.
they're going to build around Zach, which makes me excited because I just like to see trades. But I can see Artunis Karnišovas seeing Chris Paul, the old ass, and seeing how he has changed the culture in his last 4 teams and being like, you know what, we kind of need some of that. $15 million is not too bad for a guy like Chris Paul. We can make up $15 million in no time.
Any team that's
Well,
trying to
you
get
give it
over
to
that
Russ.
small last hump
Yeah.
and trying to take that next step, I think that's the way you go with Chris Paul.
I'd rather get Russ than Chris Paul, to be honest.
I don't think you're wrong in that.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong in that.
I'd rather empower Zach
it's probably
LaVine.
easier to get Chris Paul than Russ, though.
I'd rather empower Zach LaVine. Let Caruso be the point guard. And let Zach LaVine grow as a decision maker.
Damn, he like
I was
28.
gonna say you're gonna keep letting them grow.
When do we stop growing?
A point guard might be necessary next to Zach.
No, y'all
That's,
right.
that ball might not
I
move.
just want Zach to
Yeah.
just score. I don't
Yeah.
want him to be a decision maker. Just hoop.
No, he needs to be able to process. when
Patrick
to
Beverly
pass
said,
the
"Don't you
ball.
pass the fucking ball."
'Cause
That's
when
what I'm here for.
Because when some of these dudes just right now, get double teamed, they is be acting like they don't know what the fuck to do as a basketball player.
I
Get-
hope Pat Bev is there again.
He won't be.
Like, let's go through teams. I'm just gonna name teams, and you say yes. Can you see Chris Paul on this team? Bucks.
No.
Celtics.
No.
76ers.
No.
No.
Cavs.
No.
Knicks.
No.
Nets. Atlanta.
Nets, yes.
I'm
I
just
can
gonna
see
say
him on the
something when you
Nets.
say a team that I agree to.
Who is their point guard?
Right now,
Spencer
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Spencer-
I can see Chris
yeah.
Paul on the Nets. That's his type of team where they not winning a championship, so he can.
Mikael Bridges like, fuck, I tried to get away from your way.
He can be hurt for the playoffs with them. There's no expectation.
Miami.
That's
What about going back to
Miami.
the Clippers?
Miami is. Hey, if you want to,
No, just keep Kyle.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Kyle.
air exposure,
Oh,
making
man.
Kyle Lowry come off the bench. That's what I call coaching.
Atlanta, no. Toronto,
No,
Too much-
Chicago,
yeah.
I
maybe.
can see Chicago.
Indiana, Washington.
Yes.
Washington.
That might be, yeah.
That might be the fucking spot. You
They
send
just need a
them,
point guard.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just send them some stuff. Well, the problem is the Suns are not trying to dump. I don't think they're trying to dump Chris Paul. They want something back in
something back.
return,
Yeah.
and that's the real problem because Chris Paul holds value, but not as much value as he
Yeah.
held 2 years ago or something.
And if I'm the Wizards, I'm not really interested in giving you much of my core guys.
Yeah, even though their core guys are enough to be outside the plan. The Clippers is another option, I guess, if they don't see Russ as the guy to take a minimum.
I think Russ ain't going back there.
Yeah.
I think the Clippers would bring him, but I think he's saying y'all need a little bit more paper.
Oh, you know who I saw interested on some various, and it was one fan, so I can't say he speaks for the fan base. The Pelicans.
And Chris Paul.
Pelicans fans would say, bring it back to New Orleans.
Mm.
It was a cool little time here during Hurricane Katrina.
I would like that.
So CJ's no longer. I like CJ at the one.
I prefer Chris Paul.
I'll prefer a pass first guy
Yeah, I was
for
gonna say.
that for that team, but it's not like CJ's ass.
Yeah.
But I feel like the scoring aspect, maybe they got that a little bit. You ain't got to worry about Chris Paul defensively because Herb Jones is that guy. Is that enough talk about the Suns? All right, cool.